This video was entirely created with the support of artificial intelligence, including images, voice, and narration.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about an essential topic for anyone who wants to achieve financial stability and freedom. How to organize your budget, save intelligently, and take your first steps into investing. I'll bring practical tips and information that come from official sources and finance experts. Stay until the end, because this video can transform the way you deal with your money. The importance of financial education. Financial education is planning. The Central Bank of Brazil reminds us that planning a budget, avoiding excessive debt, and consuming consciously are fundamental steps to using money responsibly. Financial education makes it possible to achieve dreams without compromising the future. Motivating the viewer. Invite the person watching to reflect on their goals. An emergency fund, traveling, buying a home, or ensuring a peaceful retirement. Explain that, without planning, it's easy to lose control and fall into debt. Organize your budget. What is a budget? A budget is a written plan that shows how much you earn and how much you spend each month. The FTC, U.S. Consumer Protection Agency, recommends listing all regular expenses, rent, bills, food, and noting your monthly income. By subtracting expenses from income, you find out whether you are spending more than you earn. If there is money left over, prioritize saving. Treat saving as a fixed expense in your budget. How to build your budget. List income, salaries, extra income, rent, commissions. List fixed expenses, rent, condominium fees, school, health plans. List variable expenses, groceries, transportation, leisure, clothing. Calculate the balance, income, expenses. If the balance is positive, decide how much will go to savings. If it is negative, review expenses and cut unnecessary items. Adjust whenever necessary. The budget is a living document. Review it monthly. Use spreadsheets or financial management apps to make it easier. Set goals and monitor your cash flow. According to the CFPB, you should create concrete goals. For example, buying a computer, taking a trip, and track the dates of income and payments. This prevents delays and helps separate the money that will be saved. Adjust expenses to ensure regular contributions to the savings fund. Use extra income to your advantage. Allocate part of tax refunds, 13th salary, bonuses, or cash gifts to your emergency fund or investments. These occasional inflows accelerate the growth of your wealth. Build an emergency fund. Why have an emergency fund? Unexpected events happen: job loss, illness, car or home repairs. The FDIC recommends saving 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. This money ensures peace of mind and prevents debt in times of crisis. How to build an emergency fund. Define the amount. Add up all essential monthly expenses: housing, food, transportation, health, and multiply by 3 or 6. Create a habit of saving. Set aside a fixed percentage of each paycheck. Even small amounts, saved with discipline, grow. The FDIC recommends paying yourself first. Automate savings. Schedule automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account, as suggested by the CFPB and FDIC, so you don't forget or spend the money before saving. Take advantage of extra income. Refunds and bonuses speed up the formation of the fund. Priority: pay off high-interest debt. Few investments pay as well as paying off credit cards or other high-interest debt. In Brazil, credit card rates can exceed 400% per year. It's impossible to multiply your money by investing with returns that high. Therefore, focus on eliminating expensive debt before investing. Saving versus investing: fundamental difference. The central bank explains that saving is spending less than you earn. Investing is applying those resources in search of returns. Savings accounts are just one of many possible investments. Saving is essential for building an emergency fund and reaching short-term goals. Investing aims to multiply wealth for medium and long-term objectives, assuming some risk. How the savings account works in 2026. According to the central bank, information disclosed by Nubank, savings account returns depend on the Selic rate. If the Selic rate is above 8.5% per year, savings yield 0.5% per month plus the reference rate, TR. If the Selic rate is equal to or below 8.5%, savings yield 70% of the Selic rate per year plus C2TR. For example, in December 2025, the Selic rate was 15% per year. For $1,000 would yield about $67.50 in 1 year, 0.25% per month plus TR. Although it is safe, the return is low. There are equally safe fixed income investments, such as CDBs covered by the FGC or Treasury Direct Bonds, that pay more. Components of an investment. The central bank's Financial Education Workbook highlights 3 factors to evaluate: liquidity, ease of converting the asset into cash. Money in an account or treasury Selic has high liquidity. Real estate has low liquidity. Risk, probability of loss. Savings accounts and government bonds have low risk. Stocks have higher risk. In general, the higher the return, the higher the risk. Profitability, return, how much the investment can earn. Be suspicious of promises far above the average. Before investing, know your profile: conservative, moderate, or aggressive. Check whether the product is registered with the CVM. Read prospectuses and regulations. Review fees, management, brokerage, taxes, and research the institution's reputation. Diversification and asset allocation. What is asset allocation? Asset allocation means distributing your wealth among different classes: stocks, public-private bonds, and cash. The SEC explains that the best combination depends on your investment horizon and risk tolerance. A long-time horizon allows for more risk, greater stock allocation. Short horizons require safety and liquidity. Why diversify? Diversifying means spreading money across multiple assets and sectors to reduce the risk of large losses. Investopedia notes that a diversified portfolio, spread across asset classes, sectors, and countries, seeks more stable long-term returns. Explain that it's like not putting all your eggs in one basket. Investor profiles. Conservative, prioritizes safety and liquidity. Options: savings, Treasury Select, CDBs from large banks, short-term fixed income funds. Moderate accepts some risk to seek higher returns. May use fixed-rate bonds, LCI, LCA, multi-market funds, and fixed-income ETFs. Aggressive tolerates volatility in exchange for higher returns. Invests in stocks, real estate funds, FIIs, equity ETFs, and international exposure. Knowing your profile helps you choose the appropriate allocation. Investment options in Brazil: fixed income treasury, direct, government bonds, SELIC, IPCA plus, fixed rate. Treasury SELIC is ideal for an emergency fund, high liquidity and minimal risk. CDB, bank certificates, fixed rate, floating rate, percentage of CDI, or hybrid returns. Smaller banks pay more but have higher credit risk. Most are covered by the FGC up to $250,000 per CPF per institution. LCI, LCA, real estate or agribusiness credit letters, exempt from income tax for individuals, also covered by the FGC. Fixed income funds, pool various bonds, check the management fee, and prefer low-cost funds. Variable income stocks, ownership in companies, high potential returns but greater volatility. Requires study and a long-term view. Real estate investment funds, FIIs, invest in properties or real estate securities, pay monthly income exempt from income tax for individuals, but share prices fluctuate. ETFs, index funds that replicate indices like the IBOVESPA or S&P 500, can be equity or fixed income and have lower fees than active funds. Other possibilities: private pension plans, PGBL, VGBL, long-term plans with tax advantages. Pay attention to loading and management fees. Cryptocurrencies and alternative assets. Extremely volatile. Use only a small portion of the portfolio, and only if you have an aggressive profile. Final tips for investing safely and efficiently. Start early and take advantage of compound interest. Compound interest is interest on interest. The SEC shows that investing $100 at 5% per year generates approximately $160 in 10 years and nearly $340 in 25 years. The earlier you start, the more the effect multiplies. Use the rule of 72. 72 divided by the estimated rate of return gives the approximate number of years to double your capital. Make regular contributions. Set aside a portion of your salary every month for retirement, and increase contributions as income grows. Automate contributions so you don't forget. Use accounts and plans with tax incentives. Pension plans, PGBL, VGBL, allow you to deduct contributions or defer taxes, and some companies offer matching contributions. In the U.S., employer-sponsored plans with matching contributions are strongly recommended, a concept similar to some corporate plans in Brazil. Pay attention to costs and security. Compare management, custody, and performance fees. Lower costs mean higher returns. Research the reputation of institutions and verify that they are regulated by the central bank or the CVM. Be wary of promises of high returns with no risk. Reevaluate your portfolio periodically. Your goals and income change over time. Rebalancing the portfolio, selling what has risen a lot, and buying what has fallen, keeps risk aligned with your profile. Review your budget and emergency fund whenever there are significant changes. Summary of the main points. Organize your budget and treat savings as a mandatory expense. Set clear goals and monitor your cash flow. Build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Pay off expensive debt before investing. Understand the difference between saving and investing. Know how savings accounts are remunerated and their limitations. Evaluate liquidity, risk, and return before investing. Diversify and allocate assets according to your profile. Start early and take advantage of the power of compound interest. There is no magic formula to get rich quickly. Financial education requires discipline, patience, and planning. Organize your finances, build a reserve, invest according to your profile, and, above all, start now. Time is your greatest ally. Did you like the video? Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who needs to organize their financial life.